It's a great day to be a Kyle. Welcome, Kyle Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD. With that being said, let's jump in. What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
Hey.
How we doing?
Grant, you survived Mexico.
And you're not as red as I expected.
You know, that wasn't the case about 2 days ago, but I recovered quickly from that. I was just telling Mitch, I'm kind of a shell of a man today, but we're grinding through.
Sounds like you were on a red eye back to the States, man.
Pretty much. We got landed at 12:30. Kids are up at 6:30. No big deal. We're grinding through.
Whoa.
It gets tougher the older you get.
Getting older and older every day.
Yote fan, what up? 5:11 p.m. today. He's slacking a little bit, but he still got that first place comment. Let's go.
To be fair, I did not make the show until like noon.
So okay.
Normally he gets in at like 10 a.m. But that one's on me. I bet he was peeking looking for us.
Well, hey, Matt got second. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the standard. Hello, fellow Yote fans.
There we go.
All right, boys. I'm going to jump to the side here because I want to just start this off with, this is the perfect tweet from the official South Dakota football account with "found a way." We finally got our first road win. It wasn't pretty, but we got a W.
I mean, can I tell you something wild? After that game and before SDSU kicked, we had 4 wins. SDSU had 5. We had 3 losses. They had 0. The fact that we had played 7 to their 5 is absolutely wild to me.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The fact that there's no bye anywhere until the very end sucks.
It doesn't even make sense. And I feel like those should be outlawed. Sorry, I'm also looking for a pencil right now because I need to write down. So I need to write down my thoughts.
Well, no, Mitch, I think you're right, Mitch. Found a way, right? Like we kind of talked about it last week too. It's like the road in the Missouri Valley, regardless of opponent, is just survive and advance, right? Like even Coach brought it up. We struggled with Indiana State 2 years ago when we were clearly a better team then, and it was kind of a grinder again out there, you know. But yeah, it wasn't an easy game to watch if you're a Yote fan. Some frustration, some good positive things that happened, right? But also weighed in with some things that were tough to see, tough to watch, but found a way. That's exactly right.
Hey, and you know what? I'm going to go out and just say it. We'll just get to this part first. 2023, we went into Indiana State, top 5 team, and we left 17-3. Mm-hmm. We went into halftime.
We said that, Terre Haute, man. Weird things happen up there, and the games get kind of weird, and this is exactly what happened. But hey, okay, so we dominated this game statistically, especially time of possession, and we didn't light up the scoreboard like we thought. But before we dive into that, let's do this. Alex's lemonade stand update real quick. The man, hey, I guess I was surprised here. I snippeted this and I didn't even realize we're up to 12,771. Last I looked, we were at 11,771.
They must have snuck in. Shoot, I haven't actually been. I didn't look today. I wonder if Northwestern got their match in.
I just snipped it and my eyes didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have, man. Because that's an extra 1,000 that came in. Yes, it was. It was the match from Northwestern. So there we go.
12,000, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I tell you what.
That is the Jacks gained ground, which we knew they would because it was Hobo Day. But man, we're still over 12,000, knocking on 13,000. So it's looking real good.
Yeah, well, and right now I'm sitting with some money in the bank that I need to get transferred over. I'm guessing it's the next slide.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Exactly. I have some money sitting in the bank that I need to transfer over from here because we are up to 21 tickets sold so far. So,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
We're going really well.
All right, so quick plug for them because they're kind of a pseudo sponsor since they're the big donor on this. They're not an official show sponsor, but definitely going to give them some credit here. So www.gruisfarms.com. Check them out because they are doing an awesome thing for us and for Aiden and for childhood cancer research. So I want to just plug this, guys, real quick. Is what makes Gruis Farm meat different than other brands? Because we kind of mentioned this when we launched the raffle, and I just want to read this right from their website. It says, at Gruis Farms, we deliver premium beef, ethically raised and free from growth hormones, preservatives, and antibiotics. Our commitment to superior genetics, combined with sustainable and careful farming practices, ensures exceptional taste, tenderness, and quality you can trust. I mean, that's pretty sweet.
I think we need to get Mitch into radio ads.
Let's go.
That was really good. That's good. That's a good plug. And to your point, this is high quality, locally sourced, free of hormones, preservatives. I'm a big food guy when it comes to quality food. So seeing this is, I think a lot of people are very interested in this, and what they're doing, the way they're going about it, I think really aligns with a lot of people and what they've been doing. So I laughed because I was in Mexico. We went out to a restaurant one night and somebody ordered a steak, and I said, to each their own, but I don't think I'm ordering a steak about south of Kansas, right? Like I'm good on that. I'm gonna go with the fish. We're sitting by the ocean here. I think that's the move in Mexico, right? So
for sure.
So yeah, this is exciting. I think this is gonna get a lot more traction as this goes on for sure.
Absolutely, and actually, wild enough. So my family, we get in on a little splitting here. We split a cow 3 ways. And I thought about tweeting a picture of what the freezer looked like on a third.
It's a lot of meat,
dude. It is. I have 100 pounds of ground hamburger. That's it.
And that's a third. That's a third of a cow, by the way.
No, and that's just part of the third.
Right.
Roast. I got a ton of steaks. We got some soup bones too. We're gonna make some bone broth.
There you go. Some beef broth.
You got to have some serious freezer space. As an exclaimer for this promotion, have your freezer prepared accordingly if you're gonna be buying tickets for this.
All right, Jake, remind the fine folks here what the raffle is and how to get involved.
Yes. Oh, I mean, this is fantastic. This is the best looking flyer we've made so far. That's for darn sure. But sorry, Mitch, I had to give you a little hard time. No,
I disagree. This look, I'll keep my comments to myself.
I copied and pasted, so you can say what you want. With it, there is 3 different opportunities that you can get on buying tickets. The first one, just buy 1 ticket for $20, fill in an entire freezer for $20. Sounds like a darn good deal in my mind. But if you want to up your chances, we got 3 tickets for $50 or 10 tickets for $100. There are 3 ways you can pay. The first one, easiest one, donations to Alex's Lemonade Stand. And the best part is we got an example right here on the right here from our very own Mitch. So thank you for being a guinea pig / getting in on the donations.
All it takes is 1 to win this.
Exactly. And don't forget, even if you don't win on the first one, you can win on the second one. Another way you can do it, I actually went and created my own Venmo for this. So we got at @backtopack_SD. You can Venmo me straight away, which is the other way that has been done so far, because we have not been able to do the third part yet, which is cash donations at tailgate. Now, what I will add, stipulation at tailgate, with it, you do have to do a Jello shot when you buy a raffle ticket from me. So
hey, that's actually not a bad deal. You buy a raffle ticket, get a jelly shot.
Yeah, absolutely. So
good deal.
A little 2-for-1 chance to win. But yeah, so I will be tracking all of the tickets through an Excel document. And then what we'll do is, I actually found a website, and I at one point had over 500 entries on it, but it'll spin the wheel and it'll pick a random person. I can then go through and control find. So if Mitch wins, and let's say Mitch had 10 tickets with us, I can delete all 10 of his entries then, because you cannot win the second part of the quarter. I'll pull them out, but then it ups your chances too on the next spin.
Perfect. I love this. This is such a cool thing, and really appreciate the Gruis family and Gruis Farms.
Absolutely. Gruis Farms blew it out of the water with this. I will take absolutely 1% of the credit for this, because I'm just keeping track of the raffle. That's about it.
All right.
Yeah, it comes back to Yotes taking care of Yotes, right? That's what makes this whole thing a lot of fun. And yeah, as we all know, Trevor Gruis is a Yote legend. So it's
absolutely
this is fun. It's so exciting.
Hey,
Maybe we'll have
speaking
to
of speaking of Yotes taking care of Yotes, I just want to shout out the Brotherhood too, real quick. I know Trevor
Oh,
played
yeah,
basketball, but the football Brotherhood guys, they raised over 100,000 here this last couple of weeks, pushing for obviously Coyote Athletics. So that's really cool to see. I think they're like 107 or 110, something like that.
I thought they were creeping up to 125 now at
Oh,
this
are they
point.
that high
I was
already?
about to
Okay.
say that I think they're creeping closer to 125. So I think their initial
Jeez.
goal, if I remember seeing it on Twitter, was 100,000, which they blew by.
Mhm.
So
That's
again,
awesome.
when it comes
Yeah.
to Yotes answering the call for other Yotes, it's automatic. Like it just always happens. We've obviously seen that just in a few in a few games that we've done, right? So it's
Yep.
it's always great to see. I love it.
All right. Anything else, Jake, for the fine folks on the beef raffle?
No,
All right.
just buy your tickets now. I think you get a better chance of winning if you buy your tickets early.
Oh yeah. Hey, when does this end? Because we had a date change, by the way.
We
Well,
did
that's
have a
right.
date change, so I got to set up properly to help out Trevor and his butcher on this. So we actually are going till the 3rd of November, and I want to double check to make sure I say this correctly. But the 3rd of November is a Monday, and we will do our live show with that one.
Sweet.
So, yes, that'll be the post game for Southern Illinois. No, that'd be the post game for the Bunnies. So, after we kick the crap out of the Bunnies. Oh no, wait.
No,
No.
I think they're the 8th.
North Dakota.
Yeah, it'd be
North
UND.
Dakota.
Yep. After
Yep.
North
Okay.
Dakota.
So, okay. Shoot. Well, after we kick the crap out of the Fighting Hawks,
There you go.
swing by here, and we'll give out some beef.
Let's do it. All right. To football. Show outline is just to remind you guys what stood out, where do the Oats need to improve, who are the players of the game. That's kind of the flow here. I'm sure we'll bounce around as we always do. But here we go. 1914. Like I said, it wasn't pretty, but it was beautiful. In front of, what did I say? Just over 5,000 fans. I think I got that in here somewhere.
5373 is what
Oh
I'm
yeah, there
seeing.
it is. Attendance, yep, 5373. So not exactly a packed stadium by any means. We said that place held 12,000, and they're all on one side. But nonetheless, guys, looking at our picks and our predictions, obviously we got the W, so we're all right there. But we were expecting a lot more from the offense, which we are going to get into. So we were a little bit off. We were close on what we expected Indiana State to score, but like I said, the offense just didn't get it done in the red zone on Saturday.
Oh, I got a fun little part written up right here for us on that one. That was tough to watch once we got to the red zone. Everything else in between was fantastic.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm going to leave this up on the screen, but go ahead and start giving your thoughts on kind of what stood out.
Well, jump back to our score predictions, and you were 3 points away from getting it spot on had everything gone the way it was supposed to go. So we score a field goal, and on that first field goal, we have a holding while we were at the 15-yard line of Indiana State while we were driving, and we all know 20 yards is a hassle to try and gain in just 3 plays. So kicked a field goal. Second one, we were at the 12-yard line with a rush of -6. Put us back to 2nd and 16. Had to kick a field goal because 16 yards in 2 plays is tough to do. Next one, we had a touchdown run from the 13-yard line, but there was holding on that play. Backs us up to the 23, 20 yards back. Had to kick a field goal. Stop me if you heard this one.
I'm sensing a theme here, Jake. What's please do go on.
Yeah. So on the last one, if you guys want to guess, but there was holding on the 18-yard line when it was 3rd and 8, but we had gained the first down if there wasn't holding. So let's just talk about the fact that Mitch would have nailed our score absolutely spot on if the team had stubs instead of hands.
There you go.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like you look at the box score, and on the surface, if I told you guys, hey, good news, 5 for 5 in the red zone, and then you saw 19 points, you'd go, what happened? Right? How is that possible? Right? So the good news is you're 5 of 5 in the red zone. The bad news is only one of them's a touchdown. And mostly it's because of self-induced, I get it, you're competing, but it's penalties, right? Like penalties are the main crux of the thing that's taking us out of the red zone, taking us out of opportunities to score. so it's just tough. It's like it's this weird thing, like you said, statistically just dominated this game, but then when it came time to really take advantage of opportunities, we just seemed to kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. So I'm glad we got the win, but I think it's going to be a hard lesson for the team to learn, right? Because you can get away with this in Indiana State, no disrespect to Indiana State, but you can't get away with this against probably anybody else on our schedule this year, right? I
Yeah,
think if you
yeah.
put
The remainder of the schedule,
remainder of the
yeah.
schedule, yeah, I don't think you can come out of a win doing it that way. So
Yep.
we'll have to clean it up incredibly quickly here. Because again, we're in the playoffs already, so we gotta find ways to win. But I agree with you. That's the biggest thing that stuck out to me as well, Jake.
Yeah. Well, and credit to Indiana State on this, because I truly think the holding penalties were almost necessary, or Aiden might have been leaving in a body bag.
He did get sacked. He got sacked quite a bit and pressured too.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jake. I think Indiana State, and whether that was maybe we were having an off day, but they produced the most pressure of any team we've played this year from the pass rush perspective.
We have only given up 4 sacks all season prior to Indiana State. And we just doubled our season total in one game against Indiana State. We didn't double our season total against Iowa State or North Dakota State.
Yeah,
is Indiana State.
Don't like that.
No, and I do feel bad because I needed to go back and watch it, and I missed some of it. But it didn't feel like there was a ton of blitzing going on, and I wonder if it comes back to I need to watch it again. So I apologize, but we have issues with stunts on the O-line. It just has been our crux all season, and I wonder if Indiana State just went to that well consistently on that.
Yeah, and the thing is once one team kind of shows the blueprint, it's a copycat league, right? And so other teams are going to do it, and until we can figure out how to stop it. So that's really kind of where it falls for me as far as like what do the Yotes need to improve is obviously execution, finishing drives from this game specifically, but that offensive line, like you said.
Well, and this comes back to it. The one thing I think too is we are USD. We built up a heck of a name for ourselves in the last 2 seasons, but this season it's definitely kind of shown a shell of what we used to be. And I think teams like Indiana State, Lamar are looking at USD as a stepping stone opportunity for their season to really jump up, grab that big win for the season to catapult them up, because they can sense the blood in the water.
Yeah, and Grant, like we've talked about this before, but like like you just said, Jake, with the Yotes now kind of have a target on their back, right? We're not sneaking up on anybody anymore, based on recent success. So I think you do get everybody's best shot. And like we said before too, it's hard to win on the road in the Valley. And so kind of all those things come together, plus it's a weird place to play, and you end up with another kind of ugly game.
Yep, exactly. And
Grant called it. He said this reminded him of Lamar. It had very similar vibes to the Lamar game.
But the good news is we won.
Yeah,
found a way.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, W is a W.
Yeah, when you look at this at the end of the season, it's a positive.
Yeah, and that's too that's always the context you have to take out of it too, right? Where we sit today, right? A win's a win, no matter how you get it. Especially road wins. I've always been a big proponent of that. Just once you get in conference and you're on the road, just survive in advance, right? Regardless of opponent, like weird things happen on the road, but really, where we sit today, we're still in a really, in my opinion, a good position, right? To accomplish what we want to accomplish. It's just looks a little bit different than it did last year, right? We're not seeing the blowout wins like we had last year, and that's okay. It's just a different team, of course, right? Everybody's different from year to year, but one thing. Again, we don't want to seem doom and gloom, because at the end of the day, it was a dub, right? That's all that matters. But I did want to pivot to one thought that I kind of had, and we talked about this offline a little bit too. Again, LJ has another enormous day for us. He's now overtaken. I think I put this in our group chat that he's the #1 rusher in all of college football as it sits today. So that's all of college football. So so excited to see that. The one thing that kind of concerns me is that because we are a little bit one-dimensional in offense, we're relying on LJ. Another 34 carries.
I said I didn't want that.
As we start to get in the season, we want to see us get away from so many carries, but at the same time, when it's your best player on the field, it's so hard not to give him the ball. Like, you just want to give it to him every single play because what he's capable of. But I really like what Carson and Reed bring when they get in there, as backup running backs. So I'd love to see them get involved more. But if we can get a little bit more consistent on the pass game, I think that'll really take the pressure off both the running backs and the opposing defense, not kind of forcing our hand a little bit.
So I want to pull this comment up here. This one, yes. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, geez.
I truly think this rush was one of our longest in the game. I know LJ had a couple that went about 20, but Aiden wasn't far behind. Now the head of steam required to get him moving for that long.
His acceleration is not good, but once he gets going, he can move, but it takes him a little bit to get going.
Hey, in his defense, that ball was up there. He was looking for somebody to throw it to the bitter end.
He did.
Before he finally said, "All right, time to concede. I'm taking off of this thing." But I agree, that was wild to see. If you're a Yoke fan, you've been watching Aiden play for a while, that was not something you're used to seeing. I'm with him on that.
I love that we saw it, though, because at the end of the day, it is a piece that goes on film, and it makes teams be honest. It also kind of reminded me of the Peyton Manning bootleg against the Cowboys. Yeah, nobody expected it.
Jeez,
yeah. But no, I had to pull that one up. That's
good.
Comical not to share.
That's good. That's good. That was definitely a bright spot. How about this, guys? Other thing that stood out. So USD dominated the time of possession battle, 45 minutes to 14 minutes, but had less touchdowns scored than Indiana State. That is mind-boggling.
The wildest part is that it's over 3/4 of the game.
Yeah.
I know it's 21 seconds, but it's still 3/4 of the game. We held the ball. And the fact that we sweated at the end is still wild. But truly, 7 penalties for 70 yards will do that for you no matter what.
Yeah, and especially at where they came, right? It's one thing to have a penalty here and there during a drive, but when you're, knocking on the door, and those are drive killers. And so tough to overcome, especially down there towards the red zone. So, yeah, absolutely. And then I want to call out what else. There's something else on here that I wanted to call out. The Coyotes at one point scored on 3 straight drives. He had 2 field goals and touchdowns. So again, we're moving the ball too. And you look at, we'll get to the next slide, but we'll look at stats here. We had plenty of offense, right? It wasn't like we weren't moving the ball. You're driving down the field. You're just not finishing. At the end of the day, you're not converting, into touchdowns. You're settling for field goals.
Now, I will add this, though. Will was 1 possession away from outscoring Indiana State by himself. So,
thank goodness for kickers.
Shout out to Will. I mean, his last season, and he's able to knock out 4 huge field goals for us. I mean, we'll get to it, obviously, but he was the player of the game in pretty much everybody's mind.
Yep, he was dialed in. That whole, the long snap, the hold, the kick, everything. You got to have all the pieces, right? And so give all those guys credit, but yeah, they were dialed in.
Yeah, it's also too in games you kind of take it for granted, right? Because you have a kicker who's making his first kick in the first quarter, and a field goal in the first quarter never feels important, right? The game's just getting started.
Right.
Even he had one every single quarter, right? So then all of a sudden you're looking up and he's responsible for the most points on it too. So to that point, special teams in general, we talked about this too, but again, Tyler Ebel, he comes in, punts it 5 times, and 4 of his 5 punts are inside the 20. So you talk about flipping the field position game. 2 of them are 50+ yarders. I mean, the special teams was off the charts.
It should have been 5 for 5 in the inside the 20, but we had a penalty on 1.
Go figure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there you go again. Back to the
illegal formation.
Right, the illegal formation.
It's too funny not to laugh at that one.
Right.
Good Lord.
It's one of those things like you kind of take the special teams for granted in games, but like here's a perfect example of it. It's like 2 guys who put in the work to make sure we hang in this thing. So it's just such a weird game because it feels like we played them 10 times. I feel like we probably beat them by 2+ possessions 8 of 10 times, but this just happened to be one of those ones where it's just a little weird and quirky, particularly with the penalties.
I'm gonna go back to on defense. I just thought of this. This defense, guys, we held them to only 210 yards, which was basically the same as that Lamar game at 204. 14 points allowed is the least amount of points in the Johansson era. Now I know we don't have a lot of games there, but the defense guys did what they needed to do in this game and only allowed 85 rushing yards. We said that they were going to want to run the ball. They had a really good ranked rushing offense coming into this game, and so to hold them to 85 and forcing 6 3-and-outs, 7 total punts from by the Sycamores. I mean, our defense guys did what they needed to do. It really, all these problems from this game specifically just come down to the offense just not being able to finish.
Which the good news is that's very easy to fix. In reality, it was just communication between the O-line is where it comes down to, and the guys just standing their ground and being able to maintain their actual blocking position. It's really easy for him to fix. We never really have had this kind of holding issue before.
I'm going to guess, too, we were 5 for 15 on third downs. I'm going to guess a lot of those were third and longs, right, because of the penalties.
Well, I mean, I ran on that list pretty good. I can tell you 4 of them were at least 16 yards on third down.
Yeah, so it doesn't take much more here. We're kind of beating a dead horse, but that's literally what it comes down to in this game.
Win's a win, though.
That's right. All right, so looking at stats just real quick, Aiden had kind of a ho-hum day, 16 to 25, 186, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 4 times. We already talked about that. LJ, another dominant day, 187 on the ground, 1 touchdown. His long was 27. 34 carries, though, guys. We mentioned it already, but I don't like to see that because we need him down the stretch, and so can't continue to give him the ball 30-plus times a game. I don't see that being sustainable, especially going into what will be the absolute meat grinder of our season here coming up. So don't like that. But outside of that, I think I got on the bottom here, but shout out Jack Martins, right? He had a career day. No touchdown catches, but he did have 5 catches, which is a career high for him, 77 yards. He was on the Coyote Report tonight, I heard. Yep. So, shout out Jack. That's a good game from him.
And I'm just going to come out and say it too. I'm looking at this receiving side of things, and I can name 3 players on here that deserve 3 more opportunities each. And it still comes down to Jack Martin needs 3 more. Lorenzo, he needs 3 more, and Tennell needs 3 more. We need to get these, Fenner and Tennell, those 2, we need to find a way to get them in space and get to work. They could be game changers. And they are game changers, I should say. We've seen what Fenner can do when he's gotten the ability to. And I don't know if it comes down to those guys play calling or the O-line, but we need to figure out at least 2 of the 3 situations to make it work.
I agree with you, Jake, because I think to this point we've seen enough. We've seen enough games. We've seen enough reps that those 3 guys you just mentioned are really kind of separating themselves as guys that are playmakers, right? Like you bring up Jack, Lorenzo, to now those guys are ones that you want the ball in their hands. So I agree with you. Whatever we can do to do that creatively, whatever that looks like, rushing, passing, right? But I'd love to see those guys get more reps. I'm sure they would too.
Exactly. And it's not to stir anything or anything like that. I just know that they're capable. And actually, can you flip back real quick, Mitch? The other question I have is, what juju do we have on the O-line for Phillips that we don't have for Fletcher and Watkins?
I agree. That is so weird.
It is weird. LJ's holes, you could fit at least a minivan in them. For Carson and Reed, they're getting hit in the backfield. And I don't understand what's happening on those.
Yeah, I agree. That is weird.
All right, that's all I had. You can flip to the next one.
All right, defense, just real quick. Not a sexy, stat sheet here from the defense, but like I said, they did their job collectively as a unit. Did really well, yardage wise, and obviously holding them to 14 points too. Really solid day by the defense. I guess just one standout here. We got Gabe Hardman, 7 tackles. He led the team. That was sweet to see. We talked about, Wade potentially coming back. We saw him on the game graphic, right?
Mhm.
But I don't think he played a ton of snaps in this one.
No, he didn't. They were working him back, but I saw him out on the field a few times. He was definitely involved in a lot, but didn't show up on the tackle report.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Gabe
Mitch.
stepped up. The other one that had a nice game, hold that thought, Grant, was Nate Ewell. He not a ton of tackles, but he was involved with three pass breakups. It seemed like he was real solid in the passing game on Saturday.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to comment, Mitch, off of, like you said, not the sexiest stat sheet, but also remember, defense was only on the field for 15 minutes. So
oh, yeah, that's right.
you know,
Thank you.
very
Thank you for
limited.
that. Reminding me.
Yeah,
Yes,
which is
that's right.
Which that's a good thing, right? Like you had the limited opportunities because the offense.
Yep.
That's again like offense moved the ball, right? Like there's no.
They're over there
denying
doing
that,
jumping
total yards.
jacks just to stay warmed up, or what?
Right, exactly. Get on the
Pretty
bikes,
much.
get doing jumping jacks. But yeah, offense, big kudos to the offense because earlier this season that was not the case, right? That's probably the biggest difference between this game and the Lamar one. Although they felt different in that just kind of weird grinded out. But in the Lamar game, the defense was on the field the whole time. And you kept waiting. You're like, oh my gosh, these guys are going to get tired. Where in this one, it was the opposite. Offense was moving the ball great. And then it was just kind of, sputtered out at the end, right? Mostly penalties, which I agree. Penalties seem to be the easiest thing to clean up. So that's not overly concerning. But yeah, good defense. I think they liked how the game went. I imagine they're feeling pretty good about it.
Yes, absolutely.
In reality, there was only 40 plays where a tackle could be involved in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because 2 touchdowns, and truly in reality, if you want to break it down a long ways, it's actually 30 plays where a tackle could actually have happened because only 13 completions and 19 rush attempts.
Wow.
So I'm counting the opportunity for sacks. That's
sure.
But it's just, I guess, you can't get too.
This game was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Very weird. I do want to ask too, what does it take to get Tillman his first career interception? He was robbed of one of D-Days.
Yes.
Not only was he robbed of a pick against Indiana State, he was robbed of a pick 6.
Pick 6, yeah.
Or
wait, Scoop and score. Wasn't Scoop?
No, it was pick 6.
It's coming. That interception's coming.
Yeah,
it's been building for a while. It's coming, and hopefully it'll happen. Honestly, hopefully it happens in a big game like UND or one of those in the home stretch there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming. All right, moving on here. Players of the game, sponsored by the Carney family. This one, guys, I think was a no-brainer, right? LJ did his thing again this week. Only 1 touchdown. Our expectations for LJ in the running game has gotten so high that we look at this and go, well, not too great, not too bad, but
it's only 5.5.
Whole home day.
Another day in the office, no big deal. 187 and a touchdown.
And should have had over
1 touchdown. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, only one. Yeah, it's crazy where the kind of the expectations are and where he set the bar this year. But no, absolute, domination from him again. And then how about kicker? How about Will Leyland? You got 32, 26, 23, 42. I think was the long one the first one, or where did the 42 come in? Do you remember?
That was the last one in the fourth quarter, 42 yards.
The last one.
It was the last one.
It was his last kick.
Yep, which ended up being a big one, right? Like we said, that's the difference between Indiana State going for 2 to tie it up and us getting the win. So, yeah.
And he gets the honors. He gets the honors there with the Valley Special Teams Player of the Week, which is much deserved.
Well deserved. Yeah, that's fantastic. The only person breathing down his neck on that one was probably our punter.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think a lot of brain power was involved in getting Leland the Special Teams Player of the Week this week. So,
well, at least there wasn't a lot of brain power in picking the school it went to.
Yeah.
No,
right.
Sarah's in here. She's got our back. She reminded us before we even got there.
Hold on, I got a perfect joke. Were you held? Sorry. Is that why it took you so long to get here? Were you held? No. Welcome in. I'm ready to move on from this. I know the team is gonna have a stern talking to say lightly on this one. They'll study the film like crazy and break down exactly what happened, but they'll move on, and so will we.
Yeah, and you know what? The best thing about it is with no bye weeks, you have another opportunity knocking on the door here in a couple days to make it right and do it again on the road in Cedar Falls against UNI.
Yeah. And what was the thing that I texted you guys after this game? We won ugly in the dome. Then what happened? Blew out the next opponent in the dome. We won ugly on the road. We'll blow out our next opponent on the road.
Another road game. Got to get it done. I don't care how we get it, by the way.
Yeah,
just score one more point. That's all that matters.
1 or 100, it's still a W.
And don't pick up any stepsis.
Yes. Stay free of the stepsis.
Stay free of the stepsis.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this one, guys. It's just, in my mind, we just flush it, move on. We got the W.
Yeah, like I said, the moral of the story is, like you said, it all comes down to that very first slide. It's found a way, right? Found a way, survive and advance. And to be honest, I think we're going to be improved from this game next week. But I think it's going to be a similar game. I think it's going to be, we'll break it down Thursday, but it's going to be another survive and advance type game. And it's like that when you hit the road everywhere. I mean, we saw the scores of some of the other games in the Missouri Valley this week of teams that should have blown out whatever team. And, look what Murray State and Illinois State did, right? Like, road wins are so hard in the Valley. So surviving in advance and do it one more time, Yotes, survive in advance. And then, fans, you better be ready for that 3-game homestand.
Oh,
that is where the rubber meets the road for this season. So,
absolutely,
Yotes will do their part, and we'll do our part when they get back to Vermilion. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I it's like we said it before, but playoffs started at D-Days, right? Mm-hmm. And you get into Valley play, and you drop that one to NDSU, and now there's really no margin for error. Because the Valley is really good this year, right? There's some good teams in the Valley, and we're kind of right in the middle right now, and we really a big opportunity to prove ourselves as the season goes, because we talked about this before, but like the games just get a little harder, the opponents get a little better as you build towards the end, and so we are going to climb quickly up the ranks. I think you start knocking off ranked teams, and we're going to jump right back up there where we think we belong, but we got to go out and prove it.
Now, I'm going to say this too, just so we can talk about it, and then I think we can call it a night for these fine folks that joined us. But 2023, and right now, let's just look at our record. Are we pretty darn close to where you thought we'd be?
I'm glad you brought it up, Jake, because I was just about to say that same thing. Minus Lamar, which we all agreed was a very, very difficult early road test.
Yep.
The schedule has gone how we predicted, right?
We're one off, Grant. You and I are one off, and it's Lamar.
Exactly. Now, the ways we lost those games maybe aren't what we wanted to see, and some of these wins, like this last week, maybe aren't the way. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the wins and losses. So, Jake, you're spot on. I mean, we're right in a position. We're not in a position of distress at this point. It just looks a little different than maybe we anticipated.
Well, now, you say that, but I am.
Well, my second question. You just perpetually panicked at about 6.5, 7.
I say, speak for yourself. I'm at an 8 right now.
My question for you too is, how different is this season currently than 2023?
Not much.
And now I'm going to add to it. Let's just go out and say we beat SDSU. We run the table at home. We beat SDSU. Is there really much of a difference between what we did in 2023 and now?
No, not. I mean, yeah, we look up in 4 weeks. We have 4 more wins. All of a sudden, yeah, that's it. Oh boy, I'll be insufferable.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden,
and so will Coyote Twitter, by the way.
And so will Coyote Twitter.
Exactly. So, and I mean, yeah, it's right there. You at the beginning of the season, had you told me we lost at NDSU, I would have believed you. At the beginning of the season, you told me we lost to Iowa State, I would have believed you. So, I mean, we're right where everybody thought. Just we're not a fan of what the record or what the score shows, but at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what your wins and losses say.
Yeah, and on that note too, Jake, just to kind of re-emphasize this point, but the UNC overtime win and the Lamar loss don't look as bad because those two teams continue to win and pull upsets. So those wins and that win and that loss are aging well at this point and may continue to age well as we go.
Yeah, and I mean, we were a bad call away from being exactly where you two predicted in reality, because I still think that was a touchdown against Lamar, but can't change it. But it was right there. And then actually look at President Guest String popping in. Feels the exact same. And I mean, I couldn't agree more on it. Now, let's just go into the playoffs healthy.
Right. Well, we've talked about this too. This will be my last comment before we wrap it up. But like we said, the media's really jumped off the Coyote bandwagon, and I think I like it better that way. I kind of like them. It's like
everybody's written us off. They consider
everyone's written us off. Just sleep on us, right? That's don't worry about little old Coyotes in Vermilion. Rest of FCS Nation. Don't worry about us. We'll just keep doing our thing. So
let's go get this W on Saturday and then come home. Nice cozy games in the Dome.
We'll take care of you.
I like our chances.
That sounds a lot less than an 8.
Well, I need to see a little more from the offense, and I'll be back to a 6.
Exactly.
Back to his normal 6.
Yes, let's score a few more points on Saturday, and I'll be back to a 6.
We could come home with the championship from Nashvile, and Mitch would be like,
he's already thinking about the following year instead of Peter before.
Who's graduating?
Yeah.
Who we losing?
All right. Well, perfect. I think this is a perfect spot to end it, unless you guys got anything else.
No, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, commented. This makes the show fun. So thank you, everybody.
Flip it to that last slide.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Perfect.
As always.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.